All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Tuesday, November 14th. This video is brought to you by our friends over at Thrive Fantasy, the player prop website where you can play against the house or play against other players in contest format. Got Mr. Embiid up on the board, over under 30.5 total points. If you choose over, you get 95 points. If you choose under, you get 105 points. You got Tyrese Halliburton over under 8.5 total assists. If you choose over, you get 80 fantasy points. If you choose under, you get 120. You do get a deposit match up to 250 if you use my promo code DFSChapo, or you can use the link that's in my description. We're going to go to DraftKings. We're going to start with point guard. We're going to breeze through this. Slate real quick. It's like 10 games or some shit like that. Yeah, 10 games. We're going to start with point guard, like always. Luka, 11.8. He's worth it. Fire his ass up. And New Orleans is trash. New Orleans is already in shambles. So you want to play Luka or Kyrie against them, I don't blame you. Lonzo against Miami, tough matchup, but Lonzo's always in play. SGA cheaper than Lonzo is a slap in the face. SGA going up against San Antonio, terrific matchup. Like I said, sometimes whoever's doing the pricing for DraftKings might be asleep at the wheel. But, you know, seeing how they handle their customer service, it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense that their pricing is shit. Fuck DraftKings. That's all I got to say. SGA, Halliburton, both absolutely in play. We got to pay attention to Steph news. If Steph doesn't play, maybe Chris Paul if Steph doesn't play. But we got to start getting out of the mindsets that if a starter is out, we have to play the replacement. We got to get out of that mindset because that mindset is going to keep fucking you. You feel me? For example, like the Toronto Raptors tonight, right? Right. Y'all, yeah, I think y'all knew that's where I was going. But if there's no Curry, Chris Paul's in play. Trae Young, a little bit too cheap. Should be a good matchup. Fire his ass up. This pricing right here on Tyrese Maxey is disrespectful. You want to know why? Because Tyrese Maxey he should be a starter for the All-Star, for the Eastern All-Stars. That's how good he's been. He's actually in the MVP conversation right now as we speak. That's how good he's been. DraftKings don't know what the fuck is going on. Fire up Tyrese Maxey. Actually, lock in Tyrese Maxey. Kyrie's in play. DeJounte's in play. James Harden, the dog shit. We got to pay attention to see what's going on with the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell's been good for fantasy. Josh Giddey, on the other hand, forgot how to play ball. Westbrook, not interested in. They really priced up Skylar May's price. But Houston, we have a little bit of a problem. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't play much of the third quarter on Saturday. And nobody knows why. So just be careful when paying $6,700 for a point guard that might go missing in the middle of the game. Be careful with that. Dinwiddie, you could take a shot. I'm not interested in. Jordan Clarkson is okay. Portland is a good team to go up against. A good matchup for fantasy. Marcus Smart's in play. Chris Paul. If Curry doesn't play, Chris Paul is an amazing play at 6.1K. Suggs, very underrated, going under the radar. Having an amazing season, 5.9K. You fire his ass up. Lowry's just there, pretty useless. I mean, Lowry, it doesn't matter about the matchup. It doesn't matter about who's playing or who's not playing. Lowry can just shit the bed whenever he feels like it. So I'm not confident in Lowry. Bobby Brown. Bruce Brown has been playing a little bit better. Sohan is fine. I've lost confidence in Hawkins. I'm not fucking with anyone in the Pelicans. That's why I always say you got to pay attention to news when you're playing fantasy, because Zion basically told you that team was in shambles. He said that he lost confidence in the fucking team. So why the fuck should I have confidence in the fucking team? Exactly. Cole Anthony, he's been playing like he's playing with a wet paper bag over his head, and you don't know what the fuck is going on, because I don't know what the fuck is going on. Melton without Kelly Oubre, you could take a shot. Sasser with Ivy and Burks back is just, you're looking for a disaster. You feel me? 19 fantasy points. 20 fantasy points is probably going to be his average now with everybody back. When you get them both out, then he could be the sixth man off the bench and do what he does. But when they're both on the floor, when they're both in the game and healthy, Sasser is not going to be Sasser. They're still disrespecting my man Killian Hayes, 5.4K. Fire him up. What's his name? Keontae. I'm not interested in him. I'm not interested in Reggie Jackson. I'm not interested in any of these plays. I'm sorry. If they start Gillard, let me see how many minutes he had the last game. 24. It started at 34, then it went to 24. You know what I'm saying? He's moving backwards. I don't like that. Listen, I try not to have lineups with these 4K guys. You guys know that. That's against my religion. Meanwhile, you watch other videos and people tell you to play these fucking guys. They tell you to play Ayo DeSumno. They tell you to play Javon Carter. You know what I'm saying. I can't recommend that, because when these 4K guys play 18, 19 minutes and give you 15 fantasy points, you have no fucking shot. You feel me? You got to be creative with your lineups. It's hard work. There's no magic pill that you swallow and you make, optimal lineups. You got to really pay attention. You feel me? And I hate to be bursting y'all bubble with this information, but, none of these guys not here winning you anything. You feel me? You're not even going to win your entry fee. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. Let's go to shooting guard. Maybe if you're playing a Jokic lineup and you have a 4K player that you know is going to play 22, 24 minutes, cool. But 9 times out of 10, them guys is just fucking street dirt. Anthony Edwards, he's priced too little. And the thing is, he's motivated against Golden State. You got to fire up Anthony Edwards. Bane is in play, usually lights up the Lakers or LeBron or the Lakers, whichever one comes first. Paul George, no thank you. Brandon Ingram, no thank you. Me personally, nothing wrong with him. I just staying away from New Orleans till they figure it out. Cunningham, you could take a shot, but when you have a fucking rookie averaging 10 rebounds, you got Durant. If Durant is playing, that's another guy taking rebounds away from him. So if this was Kate Cunningham from 2 years ago or before he got hurt, yeah, now I don't need him at 8K. Shaedon Sharp, he can't stay on the court, but he's in play. Klay Thompson is, I need DraftKings to fucking drop his price 2K. Like, even if you know nothing about fantasy and you see he's averaging 26.3 fantasy points, what the fuck are you going to do with $6,500? Buddy Hield, he's pricey. If you're playing a lot of lineups, you want to take a shot, congratulations. Austin Reeves in the second unit, you could take a shot. Vassell, you could take a shot. Brandon Miller, I think he has an ankle injury. I don't want no parts of that. Lonnie Walker, don't want no parts of that. Mathurin, 5.4, you could take a shot. Somebody once asked me in the comments, why do you like Mathurin? That son of a bitch is no longer with us. Don't ask me no stupid fucking questions. 5.4K for a starting shooting guard. There's a little bit of an upside there. Oh my God. Who's next? Dyson Daniels. I don't want no parts of him. It's a 10-game slate. Me fading New Orleans ain't gonna hurt. THT 5.2K coming back off the bench. Very risky, but he has an upside. You could take a shot. Kawhi Leonard coming off the bench. Kawhi Leonard. See, I got to get my mind together. Luke Kennard. 5K off the bench. Very risky. Because if he doesn't hit his shots, you're fucked. Josh Richardson. Dust. Jaden Ivey. You could take a shot. Bogdan. Listen, Bogdan, you're going to pay 4.9K. He's going to play 23 minutes to give you 25 fantasy points. I just told you exactly what you're going to get. If that's what you want, have at it. Cam Reddish, if he starts again, you can fire him up. Caldwell Pope, I don't need. Alec Burks, if you're desperate, take a shot. The rest of these guys, I'm not playing. Listen, the thing of value is that you get value before a lot. Your lineup sort of builds itself. You feel me? Just be patient. Take a deep breath. That's all. Braun didn't play. Markkinen didn't play. Jimmy Butler overpriced, but he's all right in play. Mikal Bridges is in play. Gordon Hayward, if he's healthy, you could take a shot. Franz Wagner's in play. Osir Thompson's in play. Michael Porter, Keldon Johnson, Tobias Harris is in play. Lou Dort's in play. THJ's in play. Royce O'Neal if you're desperate. Andrew Wiggins without Curry, I don't think he's a good play. I don't really know what the fuck is going on with him. Actually, I know he had some personal shit going on last season, but why would that affect him this season? I don't know what's going on with Wiggins. Doesn't matter. He's banned from my lineup, so he can do what the fuck he wants. Taurean Prince, nah, I'd rather get to Reddish. Reddish does a lot more. I actually rather get to the other one too, not Halliburton. Fucking I'd rather get to Hachimura. Okay, Jaden McDaniels. I don't think I need him on this slate. Jaquez, if you're desperate, fine. I always forget his first name. Derrick Jones, you could take a shot, I guess, at 4.5K, but his price is coming up. Kyle Anderson, you could take a shot, but his price is coming up. Sadiq Bey, you could take a shot coming off the bench. Kamara, if you're desperate. Like, I will only play Kamara on like a Jokic lineup. You feel me? If you know you got Jokic about to give you like 80 fantasy points, and you got to play Kamara because you're desperate for 4K, and he gives you 15 fantasy points, you can still cash with that, but you got to be careful. Power forward. Wemby, 8.6. Price is going up. He's in play. Zion, no thank you. I'm not saying Zion can't have a good game, but like I said, New Orleans is in shambles. Jaren Jackson could take a shot. He usually plays the Lakers well. Karl-Anthony Towns, Banchero, Jeremy Grant, PJ Washington, Aaron Gordon, John Collins if he can go. Draymond Green, I can't trust him. He can't stay in these fucking games. Running around screaming at everybody like he's fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him. Jalen Williams, you could take a shot. Jalen Johnson, you could probably go back to. It's just his type of game. You don't really need Finney Smith anymore. I'll probably take a shot at Cam Johnson at 5.4K. As long as he could go over 30 minutes. You know, I need my players to play minutes. 35 minutes, I'm locking in Cam Johnson. He usually does a lot. Listen, this is what I'm looking for. You see 5.2K, 35 minutes, 16 shots. Anything else is extra. That's what I'm looking for. See, I tell y'all guys to play real players that give y'all a chance. I'm not telling y'all to play $3,500 guys that gonna play 14 minutes and give you 8 fantasy points. What the fuck are you winning? Yo, I hate seeing shit like that, bro. I promise you, I hate seeing that shit. That shit is so wrong. There's so many good plays on these slates. Yo, for somebody to tell y'all that shit, Yo, I remember I tell this story like once every NBA season, but one time I was watching a show, what they call it? I was watching this show. The name of the show was called Right Before Lock or some shit like that, some dumb shit like that. And I remember it was a Washington slate, and I think like Bradley Beal was ruled out. And these motherfuckers really told everybody to go play Anthony Gill. Yo, I'll never forget that shit. That motherfucker had like 7 fantasy points. Yo, and this is when I first started playing fantasy. I'm like, yo, these guys really set me up. I'll never forget that shit. So when I see that shit happening to y'all, that shit really makes me mad. Like really, really mad. Um, Live Before Lock. Yeah, that was the name of the show. Live Before Lock. You know who it is. They said play Anthony Gill. Anthony fucking Gill. Wow. My stupid ass played him too. I deserve that. Anyway, let's continue. Power forward. Cam Johnson's in play. Duncan Robinson, if he starts, you could take a shot. Hachimura's in play. Little bit of a boost if there's no Braun or there's no AD. We all know that. Wagner's in play. Sauert's in play. Reed is in play. Hunter's in play. Aldama's in play, but his minutes all over the place. Grant Williams is in play, but he's not that good. Kuminga's in play, but you got to trust Steve Kerr to give him minutes. Highsmith is going to start, but we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know what his rotations look like. What are rotations? Rotations are how many minutes per quarter that these guys play. If I don't know a person's rotation, or the coaches don't know what their player's rotation is, I'm not playing them. If the coach don't know their rotation, how the fuck am I supposed to depend on their rotation? I'm depending on them getting 7 minutes per quarter, 6 minutes per quarter. That's how they get their 24, 25, 26, 30, 35 minutes. There's a little bit of a process to this shit. Let's go to center. Jokic, 12.2. He might be underpriced. Lock his ass in. Embiid might be underpriced also. If there's no Embiid, you fire up Paul Reed, you fire up Maxey, and you fire up Tobias Harris, all three. Anthony Davis, if there's no Anthony Davis, you do the same thing you did last game. You just more Hachimura. Don't go too crazy with Christian Wood because I'm not sold that he's fucking good anymore. Bam Adebayo. Y'all been seeing what he's been doing on these slates. DraftKings not raising his price, $9K. Fire up Bam Adebayo. Holmgren is fine. Gobert is fine. Ayton is okay. Miles Turner's in play. Zach Collins is in play. Valanciunas I don't need. Claxton, you could take a shot. Mark Williams is in play, but I don't really trust that going up against Miami. Bismack Biyombo is absolutely in play at 6K. Capella if you're desperate. Goga if you're really desperate. If Marvin Bagley starts, I don't want no parts of it. And Okongwu if you're like super desperate. Durant is out, right? Yeah, Durant is out. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to FanDuel. Before we head on to FanDuel, if you're new here, welcome. Appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell, thumbs up. Listen, if you need finalized optimal lineup sent to you for NFL, NBA, NHL, whatever the fuck it is, check out the Patreon link in the description. Let's go to FanDuel. Player pool remains the same. We're just pretty much looking to see if any of these salaries stand out. Luka, SGA, Halliburton, all in play. Maxey, priced appropriately. Maxey's probably a little bit underpriced, to be honest with you. Fire his ass up anyway. LaMelo. If Trae Young is out, DeJounte Murray gets a bump. You know that. If Stephen Curry is out, you know that Chris Paul gets a bump. You know that. Kyrie might be a little bit underpriced for how he's playing. Cade Cunningham is okay. Westbrook, Harden not interested in. That's me personally. Russell is fine. Gets a bump if there's no AD. Clarkson's fine. Skylar Mays price is going up, but we need to know what the fuck happened to him in the third quarter of the last game. Giddy's okay. Suggs has been amazing for his price point. Sohan, I don't like playing players with messed up groins, so we already know that. Marcus Smart's in play. Killian Hayes is in play. I don't see anything else that stands out right now. Like I said, value would make itself available before lock. Anthony Edwards fires ass up. Desmond Bane's in play. Paul George, no thank you. Mikal Bridges is in play. Arthur Thompson's in play, especially on FanDuel because of the scoring system for blocks and steals. Gordon Hayward, I need his ass 100% healthy. Shaden Sharp is in play if he can stay on the court. Like I said, Jalen Williams, Austin Reeves, Lou Dort, Bogdan, all in play. Duncan Robinson's fine. Prefer him to start. Benedict Mathurin's in play. Klay Thompson's overpriced for FanDuel because he's dog shit. Cam Reddish, they really priced him up all the way. I prefer him on DraftKings. He's still an okay play if he starts. Tim Hardaway's fine. Alec Burks if you're desperate. Jaden Ivey if you're desperate. Norman Powell should be in play, but I'm scared of the Clippers. Colin Sexton if you absolutely need value. Drew Smith if you need value, but Kyle Lowry is going to play, so you don't really need those guys. Worst case scenario, with those guys at the bottom I just mentioned, if everybody on your team is in, they're still going to get a few minutes, but you're waiting till it gets closer to lock for your value. The reason I say that every video is because it's absolutely important. I see people online talking about they're playing Andre Drummond and they're playing this fucking idiot, and I'm like, well, you already lost because you have no concept of what's happening. Yeah, you can make a dummy lineup and just wait. Just be patient. If your contest isn't starting in 5 hours, relax. Why are you rushing to play Andre Drummond? Why are you rushing to play Javon Carter? What the fuck are you thinking? All right, small forward, Braun in play. You know that. Markkanen's in play. Jimmy Butler's okay. Banchero's fine. Michael Porter's fine. Franz Wagner's in play. Toby is in play. Tobias Harris, that is. Jeremy Grant, still a touch underpriced. Fire his ass up. Jalen Johnson's in play. Hachimura's in play. At that price, I need AD to be out. Jaquez, they got these guys priced all the way up. Jaquez is coming off the bench. What the fuck is he supposed to do with 5,700? Bogdan coming off the bench, 5,700. I don't know what's going on with FanDuel. I can't pay that for a guy coming off the bench. Okay, if Trae Young is out, you can pay 5,700 for Bogdan. He'll get extra minutes. Cam Johnson, 5.3. He's fine. Tim Hardaway's fine. DeAndre Hunter if you're desperate. Jonathan Isaac if you're really desperate and there's no value, but it's a 10-game slate, so you will get value. Derrick Jones, same thing. If you're desperate, but you should get value before these games start. Let's go to power forward. AD, got to pay attention to him. LeBron, we got to pay attention to him. I think they might. What I think they might do is I think they might actually sit one of them because they're playing Memphis. That's why LeBron took off against Portland teams they think they could beat. They're probably going to let somebody sit. That's what it looks like they're doing. I don't fucking know. I'm not a fucking insider. Wemby's in play. Jaren Jackson's in play. He's fine. Cat. Zion and Leonard, I'm fading, but that's just a personal preference. Aaron Gordon is fine at his price. Draymond doesn't play well without Curry, so you do what you want with that information. Zach Collins, he's okay. John Collins, I'm not gonna fuck around if his ankle's messed up. PJ Washington's in play. Isaiah Stewart if you're desperate. Marvin Bagley if you're really feeling froggy. Kyle Anderson, you could take a shot. Christian Wood, if there's no AD, you could take a shot. Taurean Prince, you could take a shot if he starts and there's no AD. Saric, you could take a shot. Kamara, you could take a shot. Roddy, if you're desperate, let's go to center. Jokic, you got to play him. Embiid, we'll see what's going on with him. Bam. I like him on both sites. Chet, you could take a shot. Gobert. I see. I will pay a little bit extra on FanDuel for centers that have that block well. They get blocks and steals. If they get blocks and steals, then I don't mind paying a little extra because they can pay that off. You feel me? Gobert, Miles Turner, Ayton, Claxton, Bismack, Biyombo, all in play. Mark Williams, you could take a shot on. Capella, you could take a shot. You could probably take a shot on Zubac too. Okongu, you could take a shot. And Mo Wagner, Goga if you're desperate. We're not playing Jalen Smith again, are we? We're going to give him let him cool down a little bit, right? Yeah. Nick Richards if you want to be fancy, if you're playing a lot of lineups, but I want to go into that. And then Paul Reed if there's no Joel Embiid. So listen, that's 10 games up, 10 games down. A lot of shit to cover. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Check out the Patreon link in the description if you need help with NFL, NHL, NBA lineups. And I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.